Cheers.
Tea and cheers to you.
Period.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Wish it had some tequila in it.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Otez Gary, Community Engagement Manager here at the MCA, and I'm getting a chance to have a tea party conversation with the lovely Manasseh here as well. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. So happy to have you here with us, friend. You know? So you're Chicago born, yeah?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Here, I've been here my entire life, and we will go back and forth and spend time with our relatives in St. Louis, sometimes in Arkansas, Mississippi. But yeah, I've been here my whole life, and I find that Chicago is a very vibrant place. As segregated as it is, it's a very vibrant place, and there's so many talented people here. Like, it's ridiculous. I've never been, well, of course, I've never lived in another city before, but I've never heard of another place where it's just like every other person you know here really does like several things. You know what I mean? And they're good at that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. And all of my friends just happen to be creative in one way or another, or several different ways. It's a blessing. So yeah, I've been here the whole time, just watching Chicago move.
Yeah.
In my 35 years, just, understanding what I could and just trying to take, what I needed so I can be an active part of society and, be an upstanding black man and all this other good stuff.
Yes.
And of course, honor my family in the ways that they should be. I just think all of those things are really important.
Everybody in this room got a little mud they need to avoid. So
You mentioned your mom, amazing vocalist, and I'm going to just put two and two together and say that's where the inspo for the love of music started.
Mm-hmm.
How was that growing up being around music? Your mom's a vocalist. Did she ever pressure you to be like, hey, Manasseh, come and
No, she just encouraged me.
Yeah.
Like, I just always thought I wanted to be like her. And she would always say, oh no, you want to be the man that God wants you to be. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but what about you? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just be you, and because she was just so perfect to me. And she made it known that, Manasseh, I'm not perfect. And there are a lot of things that I've gone through that I don't want you to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have to watch the things that we speak over our lives, because I've gone through some of the same things that she has. And I'm just like, whoa, that's what she was talking about. Okay, damn, wow. Don't know how you did it, lady. Like, it's so strong. But yeah, she sang. And I actually didn't find out until she passed that she played keys, but it made sense though. She was second in command to the choir, and she could teach all three parts. She could sing all three parts. I'm just like, this lady is insane. And I remember growing up, we only could listen to gospel music in the house because we grew up in church, family, church, all of that. So it's just like, oh Lord, oh. So I would be able to hear R&B music when I went to school, because sometimes the teachers would play whatever radio station was WGCI.
Mm-hmm.
They would play GCI. I'm just like, ooh, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
Who is that? That's Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? Or Boys to Men. And I caught my mama singing Boys to Men, and she was like, how do you know what that is? And you know how black mamas are.
Yes.
I told her, I said, oh, you singing Boys to Men? Oh, what kind of Christian are you, lady? And she slapped shit out of me.
Of course.
And I had to fix my face before we went in the restaurant. And then, I wiped my tears. I said, well, Manasseh, you asked for it. And then a couple weeks later, she brought me the Brandy tape. Changed my life.
Yeah.
Changed my life. That was her way of saying, okay, you know what? I've raised you right up to this point. You can listen to stuff. Clearly you have an ear for music.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to shut that down?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go forth.
So you have all this music coming in now. After Mama said no,
Yeah.
only gospel.
She said no.
No, she had to straighten you out.
She bought me a stereo. And you know the thing back in the 90s was to make a tape. I could record the radio. It was so much fun. And I had so many tapes, Maxwell brand tapes of just, you know, the lunch mix, the drive at 5, the AM, like I just once that door was open for me, I had the permission to really just dive into music the way that I really wanted to. Because I was just really curious, like, oh, these chords, they play this at church. It was really interesting to hear how, you know, the music from church translated into pop music, R&B, you know, and then like how like some of these R&B singers sounded like folk from church. And then I found out later on, growing up, oh yeah, such and such started at church, like Kelly Price.
Yes.
You know, of course, Whitney Houston, it's a no-brainer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, she's church and everything, and it's so good, it's so appropriate. Joe, Tank, you know what I mean? Like, these people really came up knowing who the Lord is, singing about the Lord, and then at some point was like, all right, you know, I have feelings outside of that. You know what I mean? I have to understand who I am outside of my parents' explanation of who I am. I have to figure out who God is for myself, and not just the relationship, not cling on to the relationship that's been fostered through my upbringing. You know what I mean? So like, I found myself going through that same journey, and I felt really bad about it for a while. So I'm like, oh Lord he gonna strike me down if I, you know, if I sing about liking somebody. You know, it's fornication, but it's not. It's literally expression. And I really appreciate the fact that, you know, that I was able to be encouraged to find that out on my own. So I'm grateful for my mother.
Yeah.
And after she passed, unfortunately, in 2000, my brother and I, who passed the year after her, we moved in with our family that used to babysit us as kids, and they too are musicians and all grew up singing together. And you know, we got a church on the west side, and you know, a small family church, and it's in us. And I didn't realize that's what I had behind me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Besides all of the prayers and all of the tears that my mother has cried out to the Lord to protect my babies, you know, make sure that they have this so that, you know, they're good and blah, blah. I didn't realize that my family, you know, were, you know, just so talented. I didn't get it. I didn't know. I didn't know until later. You know what I mean? I couldn't quite understand where it was coming from.
So now you're at that place. You've collected all these sounds from family experiences, from mom, from brother. And what was it like when it comes to developing your own sound? Did you pull from all those experiences, or being around family, and also what genres are you pulling it from to create your own sound? Because you have a very unique layer to your music, as you would describe it, psychedelic soul, but it has such a tone and richness to it. That isn't out there anywhere. You have your own taste in what you do. So what was that like, putting that together? And what was it like to record your first track with that sound too, with that approach?
That's a great question, Tess.
Thank you. Yeah. Tell me more.
So I got to go back to my family. When we moved, there was always music all the time, every day, damn near all day. There was always music. And I really enjoyed hearing artists like Bonnie Raitt and Bryan Adams and Glenn Campbell and Extreme. You know that song More Than Words. I used to hear that all the time, and then we would all just sing everything that was playing together. So the playlist was ridiculous. I mean, I'm an excellent YouTube DJ because of my family. I could make you a real nasty CD. I just listening to all of those things and just remembering how I felt.
Yeah.
When I heard those different sounds, and how, again, I keep going back to, my initial upbringing, like, damn, these are the same notes, or that I've heard that run before, or I've heard, this set of lyrics before. What I didn't have the understanding is that, like, there's a period of time, and people still do it, where people would just release albums of covers, but it would be their own interpolations of those songs. I'm just like, oh my God, this is so great. I can do it too. So luckily, I started writing when I was like 8. My mom, I don't want to say she bullied me into singing it everywhere we went, but she definitely did. I was blinking twice for help every time. I was singing and rolling my eyes and acting like I didn't want to sing, but I definitely wanted to sing. I was really bashful about it, but I was happy to do it because she asked me to do it. But then, like, even that reasoning has to change. It's like, you got to do it because you want to do it.
Yes. You said something that was very, like, profound. You said a lot of people listen to your music and think it's very, this is so great. And even in my own ignorance of not knowing the backstory in some of your songs and listening to it, I have some of my favorites from you. But the one that I can play that also resonates with me even more now than ever. And I lost my nephew Isaiah back in April, and
So sorry.
One of the songs that has got me through a lot ever since knowing you. When I hear it every time, I just smile about it as Salutations, and I know that's a tribute to your brother.
Yeah.
And to your point, you say, people hear these things like, oh, this is a vibe and this is a vibe, but like once you understand the backstory of it, it's like, oh, this is more personal than I realized. I think that's such a beautiful thing to do, however, is to be able to create something so beautiful that has resonance to it in a way that you could enjoy the process of grief and celebration, so that it's not just that you're sad all the time. You have those Salutations for me as a song that comes on, and I just remember the happy moments.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you. What was the process like in creating that song for you? And then what was the emotions you went through while creating that song and writing that song? And the thought process of having something be able to resonate with other folks. If you're going through grief and you're going through loss, this is a song that you can hear that can make you feel good in order to celebrate somebody. So just wanted to touch on that real quick.
So I was out in California with some friends. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Galaxy. Shout out to my cousin Martin, because he was there with me too. And we met up with another homie he goes by Wax Roof. He's an amazing musician, and he too had went through some loss, and he was playing the track, and we were kind of like, him and his partner kind of like made it, they had composed some things or whatever, and I had some ideas, and I just wanted it to feel like a mantra. Almost not so much like I'm summoning my brother, but I'm trying to get his attention to let him know, like, hey, you're not forgotten. I know that you are now omnipresent. You can see all, hear all. You can heal all, if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
And it was just my way of calling him to, for my comfort, because I needed him. I felt like I really needed his brain. He was a smart brother. Like, he made straight A's, and he got so upset when he got a C. And I was like, C stands for cool, child. Shit. A F, now that's bad. Yeah. But a D, delicious. C, cool. B, better. A, awesome. I mean, like, I was not a good student. I wasn't, as good as him. But I just figured that if I spoke to him enough in this way, because that was the beginning of me starting to deal with him being gone. My mom passed in 2000. He passed in 2001. So I'm just like, shit, so many transitions, you know what I mean? Like in such a short amount of time. And then after he passed, I started high school. And that was very rough. So I didn't get a chance to really deal with him. Still trying to recover from mom.
Yeah.
So that was my way of pushing myself, not forcing, but definitely encouraging myself to say, all right, these are emotions that you have to deal with. His loss is very real. You can't wake up and say anything to him, but what you did used to say is good morning. We always had that. We always had that. And after mom passed, we shared a bed, and we'd be like, he would say good morning, I would say good morning. My cousins that we lived with, one of them would sing good morning, and he would sing it back, and I'm just like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
You know, so the song says, hey Evie, this song's for you. You left early. I know you had to, but you're still around cheering me on. In those moments where I don't feel like, or I don't know if I can hear him or feel him, I do feel him. And it's like a subtle push. You know, for me, people that listen to it, they don't have to feel or know every finite detail. I just want them to feel how much this person meant to me, and in turn, they'll understand when they hear it. You know, it'll be a tribute to whoever it is that they've lost. You can replace the name. You know what I'm saying? If the name is like 10 letters long, then you might have to shorten it. Give it, you know, hey Trey Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? This song's for you. Well, hey Trey. You know what I'm saying? You gotta shorten it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, shit. I'm just saying, like, I just wanted it to feel like whoever listened to it, because I was in tears recording that song. The words just came out. I didn't write anything down. I just let, you know, whatever was on my heart come out, and however it was going to come out is what it was going to be. I didn't worry about anything else, because he would understand what I'm saying, regardless of it being like this whole structured song and this, that, and the third. And that's another thing with making music in my world, I guess. I like structure, but I don't let it lead the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to just be able to freely create things how it comes out. Sometimes you'll hit the wrong note, but it happens to be a really good one, and you just go with that because it's in you. And how it came out is how you meant it. You know what I mean? Sometimes some things just need a little fine tuning, and that's cool. But how it comes out is what's in you, and you cannot ignore those things. And so yeah, I was just my honest self in that song, you know. So the song is for him, and for anybody else that has left us, you know, in our hearts prematurely. You know, we hold on, but sometimes we do have to let people go. You know, if they're suffering, if they're in pain, we have to let them go. We have to be okay with that at some point. And we do have the memories. I think God blessed us with memories and experiences, with good and bad.
Yeah.
So that you can see the totality of people and understand just how much they love you and how much you love them. You know what I mean? Like, if you can weather a storm together, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You know, literally together.
Looking for love in all the wrong places, attempting to fill the void, but don't know how to face it.